Good morning. This is the 60 Seconds to Serenity with me, Gregg Hammond, and it is Saturday, December 2nd, 2017. And if you were on the broadcast earlier today and as it got started and noticed that it got interrupted, that's one of the things about the technology of being able to go live on any channel. Well, at least with Facebook, it's a telephone call can interrupt the broadcast. So just as I got started, I had an important call come through. I'm glad that the technology does that. I'm grateful for the fact that I can do a live broadcast, and then if I have an important call come through, I can take that. And it just so happened it was as I started the video, as I was starting my broadcast, that I took that call. So I'm hopping on. It's a little bit later than I usually get started with 60 Seconds to Serenity, but probably appropriate since it's a Saturday. And I am just beyond the 40-day foundation that I wanted to put together for everybody who's tuning in for the 60 Seconds to Serenity, by helping you realize that there's good news, lots of good news, right? Your life just got a whole lot easier through 60 Seconds to Serenity if you use these tools, if you take advantage of the opportunity that you have within yourself to practice breathing in slow, calm breath, as we've done for the past month of November and part of October, as we laid a foundation here of doing the breath and focusing on all of the things that we're focusing on, the things we're grateful for, things that we want to have for ourselves. As we put all that together, we're creating the tool to stay in the calm mind, and your calm mind is your superpower. And that was the foundation I wanted to lie down for you and put out there for you. Affirmation card where you're writing down things that are positive statements, empowering statements. And the purpose is to add those in and gently weed out disempowering affirmations that you might have picked up through television or through your surroundings. A lot of times there's in peer groups there are routine or habit to play yourself down, to try to be humble, and so it becomes easy to use disempowering statements. And I'm not even going to mention any at this point. We've talked about them. We're talking about just empowering ones. I am healthy. I am happy. This one has on this card, I have the statement, my memory is very good, because a lot of people say, oh, they say something about their memory in a negative way. My memory is very good. I remember everybody's name, is another statement. My heart is always smiling. I live in paradise. The statement of I live in paradise means that no matter where you go, you're in paradise because you are there. And because you have taken the time to practice tools, practice your 60 Seconds to Serenity tool, which is the combination of all these things that we've talked about over the last 5 weeks, to establish the routine of remembering to do this, to write things down. And you're doing this because you want to become the change that you want to see in the world. By changing yourself and improving your life, it actually makes a difference, because you become a stronger part of the community. And your example will empower others to think about doing that. And I just mean by, when I say living that example, I mean doing that yourself. Working hard to keep yourself in that positive mindset, to use the tool of the 60 Second to Serenity, breathing, and gratitude. Thoughts of gratitude, meaning that you've got the things, this example that I give, this list has 10 things that I write down, and it's a variety, right? I've talked, this one has potted plants, which I just recently realized time for me to add some more plants for inside, because they're so good at purifying the air. And so looking up plants to remind myself of what indoor plants are so good for that. Aloe and the spider plant are both very good plants that that can be in the house with pets and children. And some of those, have great indoor plants, but they're not good for kids and for pets. So potted plants for your indoor air for the winter is a great thing to have. And I have on here my yoga mats, yoga teachers, chairs, tables, cabinets, all those things that are in your environment you might forget about. Having gratitude for those things, and then keeping that in your mind while you're doing your breath. And then in addition to that, you're going to keep smiling. And I'm letting everybody know that my Keep Smiling book, Keep Smiling, Shift Happens, with my co-author Ken Rashawn, where we have this version. There are a few editions of these Keep Smiling books with Ken and a couple different authors. But my first one, because I'm going to do 4 of these, my first one is up there on Amazon, and I posted a link. If somebody sees that link on the timeline and wants to post it in the comments here, that's fantastic. I see a lot of people hopping on, probably because it's later on a Saturday. Everybody's had a little time to sleep in instead of starting early. So the phone call that interrupted my first initial broadcast this morning is a blessing, right? Because more people are able to jump on. And you're welcome to share this and any of the 60 Seconds to Serenity videos that I've been doing. You're welcome to share those with anybody. If someone would like a refrigerator magnet for the Global Jam for Peace or a sticker, let me know. The list that I was showing you is the 10 things I'm grateful for. You can start with a notebook that has enough room for 10 special things like that, or even more. And I recommend the notebook because then you can review back. You can look at the previous days that you've listed things that you're grateful for, and you're thinking about things, people, places, experiences, and making the list from those. And we're talking about for the month of December, as we go through towards the end of the year, we're talking about writing our goal card. I've mentioned a couple times the importance of having a goal card, and then also putting it inside of a sleeve where it won't be damaged. It can sustain being in your pocket and being different places, a pocket or a purse or a briefcase, but you want it somewhere where you're going to touch it all the time. If it's in your pocket, it's that thing that you feel it when you're walking, you feel it when you're sitting. You put your hand in your pocket for anything, and there it is. We also did the non-dominant hand exercise, and I'm going to show you just an example here. I use my non-dominant hand to write out all my gratitude, but I also had been did some non-dominant hand exercise. This one says day 68 on it, and it was from last December 23rd, where I was doing a 90-day run of writing out non-dominant hand printing, and I did the paragraph. I did it 5 times, 6 times, depending on what fit into the page there. But for now, just to get yourself started, because that's a lot of writing, right? And sometimes it's challenging to use that non-dominant hand in the beginning and keep consistent doing it every day, to stay very consistent with it. Can be challenging if it's a long paragraph and you have to write it out twice. And so what I'm suggesting you do is just your name to start off, and then add in things like the day of the week, the month, the number on the calendar, the year. And as you feel more and more comfortable with that and you want to add another thing, you can add in the temperature it is. You can write the time of the sunrise, write the word sunrise, and write the time that it is in your location, and also the sunset. And so that was all that we were putting. Oh, I put on the wind direction, if that was the example there. So there is what you would do with non-dominant hand, and that is to help you push through the feeling, to understand what that feeling is like when you start to create a new habit. As we go towards 2018 and you're setting goals, part of those goals will require you to make adjustments to your schedule, and that means you'll be creating new habits. And when you create new habits, that is usually a challenging thing. It feels uncomfortable, and so in order to work through that and know that you can do it, right? We're just taking something very simple, which, you know, it's a physical thing, and it's the creation of the repetition of doing that, but it's also happening here in your mind. You're working the brain. The brain has incredible, amazing abilities, and some of them are just waiting to be accessed. And the way to tap into that is to use a non-dominant side, because we use, you know, you think about it, right? When you walk, you're still walking with a non-dominant side, even though you don't know that the dominant side is stronger and is supporting your foot, is supporting your weight. That foot is supporting on the dominant side, is supporting all the weight on that side, and then the other side is making a longer step, only by a fraction, but it's enough that when I was doing search and rescue, we knew how to find somebody, because they always go around in a circle. It's just they go to their especially when they're panicked, they go to in the direction of their non-dominant side, and they'll end up in a circle, and they find themselves in the same place that they just were, 90 minutes ago or 2 hours ago. They, depending on the terrain, they end up back to where they started, and that, you know, psychologically freaks them out. But they'll do that, and it's for search and rescue. That's helpful to find somebody. But when you're using your hands, which is something that we use all the time, if you're empowering yourself on a non-dominant side by just doing a little bit of writing, a small amount, and committing to doing 30, 60, 90 days of that, you will shift your neural pathways, the way that things work up in your brain, right? That's the simplest way to explain it. Things will start to shift. It's amazing, very empowering to you. And so you do that to become a better, become the change that you want, become a better person, become a better contributor to our whole group of society. And when your life gets better, when you get the good news that your life just got a whole lot easier by doing these 60 Seconds to Serenity tools, the world gets better, right? So I will leave you with that. It's Saturday. I'm going to be back when I'm in another studio of my guitar castle here in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to do a little bit of a free guitar lesson. So if you're tuning in for that, I will see you at 9 a.m. Feel free to share this video or any of the guitar videos. I'm helping people finish out 2018 with the very basics of playing guitar. And if you're one of those guitar players that's already started and you feel like they're so basic, what I'm teaching in the beginning it's so basic you don't really need that, you can always, if you're excited about it and want to start, you can hop over to DC Guitar Lessons Facebook page and you'll see the videos from last year. I did this, and I do all of these as my way of saying thank you. I'm extremely grateful for the amazing life that I have, and I experience so much joy. I experience so many amazing things happening, things coming together as if I had written it all out and planned it in advance. And a hint is that I have. But I am so grateful for that. I get to play guitar, I get to teach people, and I get to share things, and I get to travel, and my life is just amazing. Publishing books, all of these amazing, wonderful things that I'm extremely grateful for. So this is my way of giving back, of sharing things that I teach, and people come and sit in with me to learn. I'm sharing all of these things as a gift as we close out the year. The last 2 months of the year, we went from the end of October through November, and we're going all the way through December. And I will be here sharing the 60 Seconds to Serenity tools, along with playing guitar and getting started. But if you're anxious to get started on any of that, you can review any of these 60 Seconds to Serenity videos. You can share them. The same thing with the DC guitar lessons videos from last year's guitar lessons. You can go through all of those at the pace that works for you, and you're welcome to review them because I'll leave them posted here. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll pop on tomorrow morning for my last of the weekend 60 Seconds to Serenity, and then I'll be going through Monday through Friday just for the weekdays, and I'll be doing the guitar lessons on Saturday, and then on Sunday will be a day that you can go back and review all those. So peace, love, and music to you. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you tomorrow if you hop on tomorrow.